me in doing this webinar today. I put some awesome information and strategies for you guys today. So today topic, the ultimate voicemail and follow-up system in both sales. And without further ado, I see that everyone was good in sound and everyone was good with audio. We'll get started. So topic today, ultimate voicemail and follow-up system in both sales. I want to start with this picture of my two sons. Why? Because I really put my heart into this presentation. And here is what I did. I wanted to provide the best presentation for you guys. So I imagine that my two sons, Luca and Leo, would be 18 or 20 years old and come to see me and ask me, Dad, what can you teach me in the next 30 minutes about using the phone or following up in both sales? And that's exactly what I would tell them. It's absolutely the best things that I've known and that I've learned in the industries that I want to share with you. And this is why I'm so pumped and so excited. So I need your attention in the next 30 minutes. So please turn off your cell phone, turn off Facebook, social media, all notification, etc., etc. This is not a lot of time, 30 minutes. I know it takes a lot to be focused in 30 minutes. So please pay attention. Why? Because the next 30 minutes are going to change your career. You're going to equip yourself with amazing strategies to help you being better in your job. So what will you learn today? During the next 30 minutes, you will learn how to drastically improve your current communication and follow-up results with prospects and clients that will result in an increase in sales and both sales and commissions for you guys. I want to make sure you're staying until the end. Why? First of all, because the information I'm sharing today are extremely valuable and it will benefit you significantly. But also, I want to add a little bit more and I'm going to give you guys some bonuses. Okay, I'll give you the 4 best sales hacks to sell more boats in 2018, talking about lead generation, qualifying, presentation, and closing. And I will also send you the slides with the scripts included. So if you take some notes, don't worry about taking notes of what's written on the slides because I'm going to share that with you guys. Now, I will take 1 or 2 minutes to share with you quickly who I am and why you should listen to me in the next 30 minutes. So my name is Vincent Finetti. I'm a serial entrepreneur in the marine industry. I'm the founder of Prestige Vision. I've worked with over 300 shipyards worldwide, from small Boston whaler to up to Larsen Yacht. And over the last 10 years, I've traveled around the world to over hundreds of boat shows. You can see me on the picture here in Monaco on the Larsen Yacht, in Sydney, Australia, in France, in Dubai, here doing a presentation in front of over 100 brokers. And also what happened is 3 or 4 years ago, I decided that I wanted to share all the secrets that I've accumulated in the industry. So I founded Yacht Sales Academy. And as of today, we've had over 500 enrolled students and 2,500 boat sales professionals subscribed. Now, I don't just do theory. I'm also involved in boat sales. I'm a partner in a brokerage firm, and I just started this year. And our first year in business, we did nearly $15 million in sales and over $25 million of listings. Okay, so I was briefly to introduce myself. So without further ado, let's get started. So what do I have planned for you guys in today's webinar? I want to share something. I want to do something simple that is very effective that you can remember. So I shared 5 secrets for you guys today. Secret number 1, the magic of using the phone as a sales tool. And this is more about mindset, and I really want you to be comfortable using the phone, so I'll share some awesome things for you here. Secret number 2, the only way to succeed in boat sales in 2018. You want to pay attention here. This is so critical. This is so important that you understand this concept. Secret number 3, because every time you're going to call, most of the time you're going to voicemail, I want to equip you with the best strategy for voicemail. So I'm going to share with you the voicemail secret weapon to reach 60 to 70% of your prospects. We'll keep going with secret number 4 with something that is super simple yet so effective. The simplest one-word email strategies that get you up to 50% response rate. You're going to be blown away by how easy and effective this secret number 4 is. Finally, to wrap that up, secret number 5, free counterintuitive follow-up emails that will get you results and make your job easier. I'm going to go fast. That's why I want you to pay attention. I have also a little special for you at the end. I will have top 10 list for follow-up and top 10 list of recommendation for cold calling also. Okay? So let's go fast. Without further ado, the magic of phone call. And what I want to do, I want to take 2 minutes and start with a little video that I'm going to share with you here, because this is so important that you understand the importance of using the phone as a tool to do.
No, I've actually always found something to be very true, which is most people don't get those experiences because they never ask. I've never found anybody that didn't want to help me if I asked them for help. I always call them up. I called up, this will date me, but I called up Bill Hewlett when I was 12 years old, and he lived in Palo Alto. His number was still in the phone book. And he answered the phone himself. He said, yes? He said, hi, I'm Steve Jobs. I'm 12 years old. I'm a student in high school, and I want to build a frequency counter. And I was wondering if you had any spare parts I could have. And he laughed, and he gave me the spare parts to build this frequency counter, and he gave me a job that summer in Hewlett-Packard, working on the assembly line, putting nuts and bolts together on frequency counters. He got me a job at a place that built them. And I was in heaven. And I've never found anyone who said no or hung up the phone when I called. I just asked. And when people ask me, I try to be as responsive, to pay that debt of gratitude back. Most people never pick up the phone and call. Most people never ask. And that's what separates sometimes the people that do things from the people that just dream about them. You gotta act. And you've got to be willing to fail. You've got to be willing to crash and burn, with people on the phone, with starting a company, with whatever. If you're afraid of failing, you won't get very far.
Okay, so as you can see in this video from Steve Jobs, it's very clear that if you want to succeed, you're going to have to use the phone. No sales are going to happen unless you're comfortable using the phone most of the time. Okay, so always watch that video. I'm going to send you the link of that video. Try to watch it maybe every day or every week, because you need to understand that it's very important you get comfortable using the phone. Okay, let me share another quick example with you. Here is the CEO of Uber, Travis Kalanick. And he's sharing how he started Uber. He said, I just pick up the phone. I just Googled San Francisco chauffeur. I pick up the phone and I started talking to chauffeur and pitching them and talking about Uber. Okay. So if you want to be successful in both sales, you have to be comfortable using the phone. And I know some of you are not comfortable using the phone right now, and you need to bypass that. Now, we don't have much time, but I want to recommend a book for no. You can find it on Amazon. It's a very short, or Audible. I think it's like audiobook. It's a very short book, and will help you being comfortable by getting rejection or receiving no from clients. And one of the things that I like in that book is it talks about the analogy of the gold mine. When you want to extract gold, and let's say the gold or the yeses, you need to remove a lot of dirt, right? And let's say the dirt or the no's. So the more yes, the more gold you want to have, the more dirt you're going to dig in. So no is just a step toward yes. Okay, so read that book, watch that video about Steve Jobs again, but you need to have the right mindset. If you're telling yourself, I'm not good at phone call, I'm not good at cold calling, I don't like the phone, forget about that. You need to change your own self-belief. Okay, now that we're equipped with the right mindset, I want to quickly go to secret number 2. Only way to succeed. And I want to share this quote with you. No sales happen unless money exchange hands. No money exchange hands unless there is an offer. No offer happens unless there is a communication between 2 or more parties. And no communication happens unless there is someone paying attention. Therefore, you're not in the business of selling boats. You're in the business of getting people attention, so you can communicate with them, so you can eventually get it in an offer and making a sales. You have to understand how to get attention in the marketplace in 2018. And it's becoming a challenge. Why? Because prospects are exposed to 5 to 9,000 commercial messages per day. And we've all developed conscious and unconscious mechanism of avoidance that psychologists call inattentional blindness. Like you're driving around, you will see an ad, you will not even pay attention. Why? Because you are exposed to so many ads during the day. So the only way to get the attention from your prospect is to create what we call a pattern interrupt, which is a signal that will wake up your brain, basically. Now, I was driving the other day in Florida, and I saw that you might have seen that for you, some of you guys living in Florida. That created a pattern interrupt here. Why? Because it forces you to pay attention. So now let's take an example when you're giving a cold call to someone. Say you're calling a client or prospects, and they're giving you a hard time because you're making a cold call. So here is what you can say. You can say, hey, Mike, yes, this is a cold call, and you probably hate getting them as much as I hate to having to do them. Now, when you're saying that, this is a pattern interrupt, right? Why? Because your prospect is like, okay, that guy's honest. He's telling me that he's hating giving them and that I also should be annoyed receiving them. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that. You cold call. So you say, hey, Mike, yes, this is a cold call. You probably hate getting them as much as I hate to having to do them. Now I'm just here to help you. Just here to help you sell your boat. Now, when you create a pattern interrupt, you're going to pay attention. Here's another example. 2 years ago, I was giving a lot of, when I started Yacht Academy, I gave a lot of phone call to brokers. And sometimes some of them were just hanging up the phone on me. So what did I do? I called them back right away. And I say, hey, Mike, I wanted to apologize for my lack of professionalism. I wouldn't want you to missing out on the sale of your boat because I wasn't able to have a simple professional conversation with you. So sorry, it's my fault. And then I carry on the conversation. I mean, how many times have you hang up the phone to someone and they have called you back? Probably never. That's why when you do something different, it's called a pattern interrupt and you get people attention. So I want to share a little story with you guys to give you an idea of another pattern interrupt. There were a lady and she had some kittens for sale. I mean, her cat just had kittens, so she couldn't take care of them. So she decided to sell them. So she's like, okay, I'm going to put an ad on the newspaper. So she puts an ad in the newspaper. The day after a newspaper ad is being published, no phone call at all. She's like, what's going on? What I'm going to do with all those kittens? So she's like, maybe there's a wrong phone number in the ad. So I'm going to check the ad. So she takes the newspaper, she opens it, and she sees hundreds of ads, all the same. Beautiful kitten for sale, fluffiest kitten for sale, lovely kitten for sale. She's like, oh my gosh, how my ad is going to stand out amongst all the same similar ads of kitten. So here is what she did. She called the newspaper. She said, can I change one word in my ad? And she said, instead of 4 lovely kitten for sale, can I change to 4 ugly kitten for sale? Now here's what happened. When she changed the ad, she got hundreds of phone calls and she sold the kittens in no time. She reportedly said that she could have sold them for much more than what she sold them for. Why was she able to sell the kittens? Simply because she understood the importance of having the attention from the marketplace. She created a pattern interrupt. And this is what I'm going to teach you in the examples today. Okay? So now that you know the importance of mindset, now that you know the importance of having the attention of your prospects when you're doing phone call or when you're doing email or when you're following up, let's review now a strategy, an amazing strategy that works fantastic. Secret number 3, voicemail secret weapon. Now let's start with statistics. An average return response rate on the phone is 4.8%. What does that mean? It means that 95% of voicemails get never returned. Let me ask you a question. Do you like doing a job that gives you 95% of failure? Personally, I don't. So when I don't like that, I'm trying to find something that works better, right? So I want to share with you an amazing strategy that will help you significantly to improve the way you reach customers. Because if you give 10 phone calls today, maybe 80% of them are going to voicemail. So you're going to have to leave a lot of voicemail on a daily basis. But there is one thing you need to understand about following up and about phone call and voicemail. And it's this thing. Do not give your prospect the responsibility of calling you back. I'm going to repeat that because it's so critical. Do not give your prospect the responsibility of calling you back. Why? Because you're not going to do so. It's backed up by science. 95% of them are not responding. Okay, it's statistic. So if you give them the responsibility to follow up, you're going to fail. Never give them the responsibility to follow up. So what you do, here is what you do. Here's an example of a voicemail that I leave. Hey, John, Vincent here. I just want to talk to you about the Series 29 you have for sale. Now, don't worry about calling me back. I will call you back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Now, if that doesn't work for you, and if you want to call me today, feel free to call me today. But if not, I'm going to call you tomorrow at 9 a.m. and I'm also going to send you an email right now with a reminder. So you see, when I do that, I don't give them the responsibility to follow up. So here is the email now. Just left you a voicemail at 2, and then you leave their phone number. You say, hi, John, Vincent here. I just left you a voicemail. I want to talk to you about your Series 29 for sale. I'm going to call you back tomorrow at 9 a.m. If this doesn't work, just call me back today. You wait for tomorrow at 9 a.m. sharp. You pick up the phone. Chance, John is going to be there. If not, you do the same thing. So that's a day after. Okay. Hi, John, Vincent here. As promised, I said I will call you at 9 a.m. You are not here, so don't worry about calling me back. I'm going to call you tomorrow morning at 11:30 a.m. If that doesn't work, feel free to call me today. I will send you a quick email too. Now, there's one thing that is very important. You have to be on time. When you say 9 a.m., it has to be 9 a.m. Okay. Now, here is a second email you send. Subject line, left you a voicemail again with a quick smiley. Why? Because you want to make sure that you show them it's not a robot system and that you're human. And okay, so you say, hey, John, no luck this week. I tried to reach you again this morning, but unfortunately you weren't here. If you want to call me today, that's fine. Otherwise, I will call you tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. The day after at 11:30 a.m., you pick up the phone and call John. Chances are he will respond at that time. There is a 50% chance at that time that you will talk to him. If not, here is what you do. You don't leave a voicemail a third time. You can send them another email. You say, hey, John, I really had no luck this week. I tried to call you 3 times. Call me when you can, and we can talk about the Series 29. Now, if you do that, you can also text them the exact same message. When you do that, you did not leave them the responsibility to follow up. You should have a 50 to 70 to 80% success in your responses when you use these methods. And why it has been working properly? Again, because you never give them the responsibility to follow up. You have not been annoying. You have always been professional. You said what you would. You said, and you did what you said you would do. Okay? So use these methods. It works. It will help you so much. It requires a tiny bit of work, a little bit of readjustment. You need to look in your calendar and set up a couple of appointments, but it works like a charm, and it will make you a lot of money because you will communicate with a lot of people, and no sales happen unless there is a communication, right? Let's get now to secret number 4, the email follow-up. And now it's a little treat for you. It's something I've been using that works like a charm. Now, there is something to understand. Amateurs are hardwired to do things backwards, usually. An amateur thinks that the more information you provide, the more chance you'll have of closing the deal. The truth is that the exact opposite. Let me give you an example. When I follow up with clients, instead of sending a lengthy email, providing them with much more information, I'll send one-word email. And the word is just going into the subject line. I change my subject line, I do forward, and I put the word status, and I put nothing at all in the copy. And I send that to the clients. and they just get an email from me. They see the subject line status. You can either put FWD or just status itself, and it works amazing. It works amazing. Why? Because it creates a pattern interrupt. Clients doesn't see any message. Oh, this guy is sending me a follow-up email with no message, just status. He really wants me to respond. Again, it's not manipulative, it's not aggressive, it's just professional. And it shows the clients that you really want to hear back from them. Okay? Use this, it works amazing. It will make you a lot of money because you will follow up properly with people. Let's keep going with our secret number 5. Now, I packed this one with 3 counterintuitive email follow-ups. I'm going to share 3 with you. The first one, I call it the 3 choices email. Majority of the time, people want to follow up but don't follow up. Why? Because they don't want to take decision. There are too much things to do. They cannot make a choice. Illusion of choice. There are so much choice for them to make on a daily basis that they don't want to make a choice. So what you do is you pre-make some choices for them. And I call that the 3 choice email. Here's an example. Hi, John. I still haven't heard back from you. Could you let me know with a simple 1, 2, or 3 response? Number 1, you're all good for now. Number 2, you're interested but just haven't responded yet. Number 3, I should get in touch with you in 3 months. You wouldn't believe how effective this email is. Usually I send this email in email number 3 or number 4 in a follow-up sequence. So I send an email to a client for listing a boat. He doesn't respond. Maybe I will send a status email. Maybe on number 3, I will send a, hey, John, are you still interested to sell your boat? And on number 4, I will send this one. I still haven't heard back from you. Could you let me know with a simple 1, 2, or 3 response? Now, if you notice something in my email, guys, they are all super short. Why? Why people usually respond to text messages and not to long email or newsletter? Why? Because text messages are short, they are personal, and they're expecting a reply. I'm going to repeat that: short, personal, and expect a reply. And this is exactly what I'm doing in all the email follow-up. Okay? So this is a fantastic email you guys can use. It's very effective. Let me share with you another one. I call that the no email. Why? People are so much more comfortable using no than saying yes. No is a comfort word, right? So instead of expecting a yes from them in your follow-up, it's much easier for you to get a response when you expect a no from them. So let me show you how that works. Subject line will be quick question, and the body, always super short, always 1, 2, maximum 3 sentences will be, hi John, have you given up on the Pursuit 235? Or have you given up on selling your boat? So effective. I get such a higher response rate when I use this form versus, hi John, are you still interested in, or are you still looking for Pursuit 235? This form works so much better. Why? Again, because pattern interrupt is different, and we're using reverse psychology. We're using no words that they are more comfortable using. Number 3, the on your radar email. This is very simple yet very effective. Subject line, on your radar. And email will be, hi John, I still have you on my list of people I'm expecting to hear from in regards to the sale of your boat. Am I still on your radar? Super short, super professional. Expecting a reply, just a quick question, very effective. Okay? So that's what I had for you guys today. I didn't want to put too much information, but I just want to put you a few things that will have a significant impact in your sales, in the way you communicate over the phone, or in the way you communicate on email or on voicemail. Now I have a little treat for you guys. I want to share with you 7 tips for follow-up and 7 tips for cold call. And we have 5-6 minutes left, and this is what I'm going to do. Number 1, 7 tips for follow-up. Number 1, the timing is very important. When you send a follow-up at 8 a.m. or at noon or at 5 p.m., you will not have the same answer rate. Same for newsletter. Did you know that the best time to send a newsletter or a follow-up is Tuesday at 10 a.m.? Or usually Wednesday 9:30 a.m. or Thursday 10 a.m. are very good times, so around midday. Try to avoid Monday morning, try to avoid Friday afternoon. Don't avoid the phone call on Monday morning or Friday afternoon. Never give yourself an excuse not to make a phone call. Because some people, they're thinking, oh, my clients is eating, my client's on holiday, my client. No, you got to use the phone. And a great time to call is between 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Why? Because the clients they are finished their work, they are at home, they have some personal time. You can call them at that time. It's very effective. But let's talk again about follow-up. Tip number 2, each email need to be short and personal. And I think you get that point now. The shorter, the better. Tip number 3, send from. You can write personal. What do I mean here? So send from, if you get an email from me, sometime it will be sent from Vincent Finity. Then I will put sometime a couple emojis. Right now, if I send you an email, I think I have a couple emojis about an anchor. So it pops out in your email box. Also, there is personal. I write Vincent Finity bracket personal, which means it's not a newsletter, it's a personal communication. Has been quite effective. In your signature, you can use thanks in advance. It has been proven scientifically to be the best signature line in order to get response. So they check best regards, best, things like this. And thanks in advance was the signature that got the highest number of responses. Very effective. You can use also your photo in your signature. Very effective too. Send from my iPhone. Once in a while, don't abuse it, don't be manipulative, but once in a while I will send an email to maybe 50, 100 clients. I really want to follow up, and instead of sending it from a newsletter or instead of sending it from my regular signature, I will remove my signature and I'll put send from my iPhone. Now when clients get that, it feels personal. It feels like I'm taking my little phone and sending them a personal message one-on-one. Okay? Again, don't abuse that. I'm not teaching you any things to manipulate or no. It's just for you to become a better sales professional. Next, be fast. There are studies that have been done and they analyze the response rate and the time of people take to follow up with a conversion rate. And they realize that the people follow up between 0 to 5 minutes get a systematic increase in conversion by 320%. So the faster you follow up, the more you'll have the interest from your clients. Be the last also. Why 35 to 50% of the sales goes to the last company to follow up? So it's very important that you always keep following up. That's why I share with you a lot of techniques so you can follow up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And if at the end of the 5th time, you'll be the last one to follow up, chances are you're going to get the listings. Number 7, use other method. I just read a book. It's called Combo Prospecting, and it talks about 2 days. In 2018, we were exposed to so many commercial message, so communication, solicitation, that it's very difficult to get a result when you use one channel. So you can use multiple channels. So if I send you a message, but at the same time a LinkedIn message or a message and a WhatsApp or an email and a text message, it's much more effective than if I send you just one text message again. So always try to bundle your communication and follow up using at least 2 to maybe even 3 channels. Okay? 7 tips for calling. Number 1, and this is why I wanted to share the video with you guys about Steve Jobs. Stop thinking that phoning doesn't work. And for some of you that have the fear of calling, I have a good news for you. When you have a fear of something, it means that you are capable of doing it. If I tell you you're going to have to cross the Atlantic on a rowboat, you're not going to have any fear because you know you're not capable of doing it. For most of us, we're not. But if I tell you need to make 15 calls a day and then you start to have fear, it's because you're capable of doing it. So it's a good sign. So embrace the fear. Number 2, keep a log. Try to do at least 15 calls a day. I know so many successful boat brokers, and I ask them, hey, what's the secrets to boat sales? What's the secret to be successful? What's the secrets to this? Like, dude, 15 calls a day, all it takes, all year long. So try to maintain that. Ask for help. That can be a good pattern interrupt when you start a call. Hey, John, I was wondering if you could help me out for a minute. Clients will say yes. Sure, everybody wants to ask to provide help. Actually, there was something from anyhow, I forgot, but it's very important you ask for help. Number 4, wondering if right now would be a good time. That can be good also. Hey, I'm wondering if right now would be a good time. Or do I catch you at a bad time? Can be good also. Hey, is it a bad time to talk? Do I catch you at a bad time? Again, pattern interrupt because you're saying something different. Did I catch you at a bad time? Number 5, just tell them, hey, I don't want to waste both of our time. I just want to see if we're a good fit or not. It's very important. You kind of like you state the agenda. When you state the agenda, you position yourself as the benevolent alpha. So you want to take control of the conversation, but not in a manipulative way, just in a way to show the prospect that you are in control and you're here to help them out. Number 6, ask for referral. I mean, hey, before I let you go, do you know anyone who is trying to sell his boat right now by any chance? And you'll be surprised. Many times people, if you systematically ask that, many times you will have, and if you do 15 calls a day and systematically ask that, I guarantee you will have a lot of referrals. And number 7, remember the pattern interrupt. Every time you're doing something and you're feeling that you're doing like everyone else, chances are it's not going to work. That's why the status email work, because it creates a pattern interrupt. Because instead of hey, I want to follow up with you or send a lengthy follow-up, there is just one word. Okay, so remember that it's so critical. So that's what I had in store for you guys today, who have been on the call for 31 minutes. So I'm glad I'm exactly on time as requested. I hope you like the information. I know we went fast. So what I'm going to do, and I see you guys have been a lot of you guys have been on the call today. We're going to send you the replay so you can watch it again. We're going to send you also the slides, and we're going to send you a couple of bonuses, as I promised at the beginning, with some other things that will help you in your boat sales. Let's now spend a little bit of time on Q&A. I'll be very happy to ask some question and respond to some of you guys' questions that you can let me know in the chat. I see I already have a few questions here because I've been going so fast already. I haven't had a chance to look in the chat, but now I'm going to look at it and maybe pick up a few questions. So I'm glad some of you like it. I received a lot of thank you, great info. I really appreciate that. So Kevin said, maybe the clients prefer to communicate by text or email. Is it important to first find out the preferred method of communication? Yes and no. Very often, we imagine that the clients prefer being communicated by email, and it's something we're telling ourselves. And it's a false belief that we're telling ourselves, oh, my clients prefer email. Sometimes it's a danger zone. If someone really wants to sell or buy a boat, they should be comfortable being on the phone. And I want to encourage you guys to being on the phone. So my response to you, Kevin, should be, there is no preferred method of communication for clients. If clients is serious about buying or selling, they should be able to respond to a text message, an email, or a phone call. Okay, so don't try to, because sometimes I've seen some sales rep in the past, they say, oh, my clients, they prefer email, and they're telling that their story, they're telling themselves a false story, a false belief, and then they don't pick up the phone anymore. And it's at their own, then they're losing because they're doing so. Okay. Vanessa has a question. Do you have any strategies to obtaining additional contact info if you only have an email address to store? Yes, that's a great question, Vanessa. There is some, so I don't know what tools you guys are using when it comes to CRM. I know you guys have an awesome CRM that Nick talked to me about, but there are some little tools out there. One of them was called Rapportive. And when you mouse over the email address, it shows you on the right side all the social profile of the clients. So if your email of your client is johndoe@gmail.com, when you mouse over johndoe@gmail.com, it will connect this email to his LinkedIn profile and his Facebook profile and maybe Twitter profile. So quickly you're able to understand about your clients and have a little bit more information. I was using an app a couple of years ago called, I think it was called Aldo or something like that. I have to find out and maybe share it with you guys. And it was doing some research. So you give an email address to this app, you enter your email address, and it provides you all the information they found online about the client. So that can be beneficial. Any other question? I'm super grateful. I get a lot of thank you. That was great. So any other question we have? In regards to voicemail, are things very clear? And I think that Nick also sent you another video about the voicemail strategy, but please try it. It's so effective. You're going to have so much success with that. And at the end of the day, if you're trying to reach 10 clients and can talk to 6 or 7 of them, you're going to exponentially grow your business. So Colin Campbell said, do you suggest and use a question that require a more positive answer, such as, who do you know that has a boat for sales? Yes, of course. That's a great question. But there is a problem with, in this question, Colin, is when you ask a general question, people tend to not give you an answer because it's not general, it's not specific. So let's say, Colin, your clients, your prospect that you're contacting told you that he has his boat at the Pier 33 Marina. Okay, that's where he has his boat. Here's what you're going to ask the guy. You're going to ask this, hey, John, who do you know at Pier 33 Marina that has a boat for sale? Okay. Or if your client's calling is at the Annapolis Yacht Club, you're going to ask, who do you know at Annapolis Yacht Club that has a boat for sale? When you ask a specific question like this, Colin, you are so much more likely to get an answer than when you ask a general question, who do you know? Because when you ask, who do you know, people, they have the entire 7 billion people on the planet in their head, and they can't even identify one person. But if you ask for a very specific point, they will remember. And maybe next time they go to Pier 33 Marina, they see someone that has a boat for sale, they'll think of you. Okay? Oh, so Matthew say, I use that voicemail technique on 2 clients today. That's awesome. I love to see that you guys are using that. How have you adapted to the new regulation on spamming in the European Union? Well, I adapt simply in the ways that I don't spam people. You know, every email that you send should have unsubscribe button. People should unsubscribe properly to your list, and there is no problem. If people need help, it's your job and your responsibility to follow up with them in a proper way. There is no problem following up one-on-one with someone, you know. Any other questions? Any points that you guys want to discuss again when I did a little checklist? At the end of the day, there is some things that I want to point out for you guys. If you want to increase your sales, you need to increase your commercial time. Okay. So if you spend 2 hours a week prospecting for listings, and now you're going to spend 4 hours a week prospecting for listings, chances are you're going to double the number of listings you get. Now, if on top of that, you implement some strategies at work, it's going to be very effective. The problem we have today is we live in a society which has lost the ability to focus and to be effective. And I remember a Wall Street Journal case study. So they analyzed a 3-hour NFL broadcast and found that viewer on a 3-hour NFL broadcast, they only saw 11 minutes of gameplay during the broadcast. They saw like 60 minutes of commercial, around 60 minutes of shots of the players standing around, showing the coach, the crowd, the cheerleader for another half an hour, another 15 minutes of replay, and then another 11 minutes of actual games. So don't approach your sales the same way that you're watching football on Sunday. It's okay if you watch football on Sunday with family and friends. But when you go into sales, you need to be effective. That's why you need to use methods that are effective. All the things that I share with you today are very fast to implement and are very effective. But on top of that, if you double your commercial time, it will be even better for you guys. So Jerry is asking me a question. In your opinion, is 15 emails combination of automated and personal emails? Jerry, it totally depends on the 15 email in one day. Yes, 15 email in 1 year is totally fine. So it depends on the time period. But if you're trying to list a boat, you send an email to a client, I would say 3 to 5 follow-up email is totally fine. And our emails are great, guys, because they are so short and so fast to do, right? And I'm sure you have a follow-up system already in your CRM that allow you to schedule a notification for the next follow-up. So it's very easy for you. And that's what I like about the methods you're using. My methods work, guys. We made $15 million in sales this year. The methods that I'm sharing with you are working like a charm, and they're easy to implement. So Mary asked me, thank you very much, Vincent. Are you available to help us on the phone for a quick specific question if something comes to mind after? Just send me a quick email. And I like to say, I like to respond. I spend a lot of time helping my students. And I like to respond to questions, but not story. So if you call me or if you email me and ask me a story, chances are I don't want to help and I don't have time to help you for that. Now, if you tell me a specific question that starts with why, how, when, and where, now I have no problem and spending a few minutes responding to that. So yes, feel free to do so. There were a funny question about the World Cup. Yes, I'm back to work after the World Cup. And I didn't lose my voice, which is awesome. What kind of question do you ask the seller on the phone? That's a great question for Garth. That I don't have time to go specifically what type of question I would ask the seller. Maybe one day we can do, maybe I'll chat with Nick and Lawrence, and one day we can do a specific half an hour training on listings and how I can help you guys to get more listing and the right question to ask for listings. It will take me a little bit longer to respond to that, but that's a great question. Is there a good strategy for following up with your customer when we only have an email address? I just share some amazing one with you guys today. I share 4 with you today. Okay. So there is a 9-word email that I will send you in the bonus. There is the status email. There is a 3-choice email. There is a no email, or there is also the radar email. Romeo asked me, what do I mean by commercial time? Commercial time is all the time you allocate to making sales. That's a pure selling time. It's no admin. It's no, so it's sales and follow-up, trying to go after a new listing, trying to go after a client that wants to buy a boat. This is called commercial time. And very often we have a lot of admin time, a lot of social media time, a lot of this, a lot of that, but less and less commercial time. If you want to be a good salesperson, you need to increase your commercial time. That's what I mean by commercial time. Let me try to find some questions. There are so many questions. Now it's hard for me to see them all. How do you think it is different to qualify buyers via email and text versus a traditional large environment? What are your top qualifying questions? I have a lot, but I'll give you an example of a great qualifying question, for instance, about the budget. I would never ask, what's your budget? I would pre-frame them. Because if I ask them what's your budget, they're going to give me the lowest amount they will be able to spend, right? So I will do it that way for the budget. I will say, hey, John, imagine we will be able to find your absolute perfect boats today. How much would you theoretically spend on that or invest on that boat? You see, so I use conditional twice, and I put them in a scenario where I let him imagine that we found the perfect boat, and then I ask him how much his budget was. It's less rough than asking right away how much is your budget. So that's a good qualifying question, right? So that's an example. Let's see, 15 minutes. I'm trying to find some more questions. So Vanessa wants some top qualifying questions. Yeah, send me an email. I'll send you some qualifying question, Vanessa. It's Vincent at yachtsacademy.com. I like to talk to buyers. Okay, Dave has a question. I like to talk to buyers and sellers on the phone. What is the secret to get them to provide their phone number when they constantly reply via email? The secrets to get them to provide their phone number. Just ask for it. They say, hey, let's have a little call. Or would a call work for you? Or can you give me your phone number and I'll call you? I mean, sometimes the problem is we're turning around the pot, but we just need to ask. And when you ask, I mean, things are going to. And if you send email that are professional, that are short, that are expecting a reply, and if you briefly ask for the phone number, they might send it to you. And just say, hey, I just want to make sure we're a good fit. So tell them why you want the phone number. If you just ask for the phone number, they think you're going to try to sell them something. Just say, hey, why don't you give me your phone number so we'll have a short call and find out if we would be a good fit to work together. Now, okay, you try to remove the sales pressure and you give them an incentive to give them the phone number. But if you ask without explaining why, they might think, oh, this guy just want to sell me something, right? Any other questions? Wow, that's awesome. We still have 143 people on the line. I want to thank you today. It's been now almost 50 minutes. I really want to thank you. It was my pleasure. I really like the way that you guys engaged at the end, and right away a lot of people ask for questions. So as promised, I will send you the replay. Junso, are we good with the replay? Okay, as my guy, we're good. So we'll have the replay. I will send you the slides, and I will send you also the bonuses. And I want to thank you, everyone. It was a real pleasure for me to do this first little training, and I really hope I didn't have a chance to talk to Nick and Lawrence, and I want to thank them again. But I really hope I'll have opportunity to do some more for you guys. But hey, have all a fantastic day. And I look forward to talking to you and sending you an email with all the information. I wish you all an amazing sales day. Go get your phone right now and right away call some clients with enthusiasm and watch the video of Steve Jobs again. And remember, the phone is not here to create any pain or fear for you. It's just here to help you, and it's a fantastic vehicle to get some sales. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a fantastic day and talk to you soon. Bye.